Want to know the latest and hottest music hitting the airwaves? Don't be left out. Listen to the Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast. Keith keeps you on the loop with everything you need to know from pop, rock, hip-hop, and the top 40. And we'll throw in news of your favorite artists, concert and tour dates, and so much more. Listen no further, because this is the gold standard in music podcast.
Well, greetings and salutations, good people of Earth and the known universe. You're listening to Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast, and I'm your host Keith. And today we got some good music to talk about. So I promised you guys that we would finish up the Rapsody review. So we're gonna start with Rapsody's album, Rapsody's Layla's Wisdom. Also in this podcast we're gonna talk about music from an artist named Mocky, Living Color. Yep, they're back, and Moonchild. So Rapsody, Layla's Wisdom. So the album is named after Rapsody's maternal grandmother, Layla. It's a tribute to her, so which is very fitting and very cool. This album is primarily produced by Ninth Wonder and Crisis. They do most of the production. Ninth Wonder is famous from being the DJ and producer of the hip-hop group Little Brother out of Durham, North Carolina. That was his that's where he got his start. And then he became more recognized when he did work for Jay-Z on the Off the Black album. And he also worked with Erykah Badu and produced the song Honey. So, and Jamla is the squad that Rapsody is from, and Ninth Wonder has produced them as well. So that production style that Ninth Wonder has, it's really hard to describe his production. I like his production a lot. I know he's known for using the Fruity Loops program for making music. His drums have a certain airy bounce to them, along with his bass. And Crisis is similar with his production as well. So I want to get that out the way. So the production of this record is great. So no issues with that at all. Digging deeper into Layla's Wisdom. So this is Rapsody's Rock Nation debut. So she's on Jay-Z's record label, Rock Nation. So that's really cool. So the opening track, Layla's Wisdom, focuses lyrically on the advice and guidance that, Rapsody's, maternal grandmother gave her. So, and when you hear that song, you can tell that Rapsody's very proud of who she is and where she's come from and what it took to get her there. So I think that's cool. So that's how the album starts off, with that track. And then Power, that's track number 2. So powerful track. This track features Kendrick Lamar on it. I like this track a lot. It has a nice, the bass kind of has like I want to call it grinding, but it's not that. I've said this before. It's like, if you're playing a race car driving video game, and the sound of the engine makes, so it's like the bass and the engine have that revving sound. And I like it. It's real cool. It also features Lance Skywalker singing the hook with Rapsody on this track. And his name is spelled Skiiiwalker. That way there's no copyright infringement from Star Wars. I get it. I understand. So, on the lyrics for Power, this song is about the power that people have and how you recognize power and how people can abuse their power. How power has been a positive force in people's lives and a negative force in people's lives. So, and let me read you some of the lyrics in that regard for this song. There's this power that pulls us closer, deeper in love. There's this power that pulls us like magnets. And then the hook, like I said, the chorus is really catchy with Lance Skywalker and Rapsody singing, I feel your energy, I feel your energy. It's coming through. Took me a century to get next to you. Plus make some enemies. Invested in you. Invest in you. So I feel your energy. Invested, pursue. And then Rapsody says, I never read the 48 laws. I need to investigate what that is because I don't know what the 48 laws are. So I'll have to look into that and tell you about that next week. And then in her verse, and then Rapsody's first verse, she says, the power of the, I'll say the power of the cookie makes a grown man cry. The day I came out, my mama, I saw a grown man cry. They say it has magic powers. Even magic ain't die. So, she's talking about different things in the song. She also states in the song about, the power that women have over men in regards to sexuality. He said the booty, the only thing between him and God. They love the booty, sacrifice their family and job. So, but then she talks about like police force. Badge make police feel powerful in the hood. Guns make us feel powerful, but they don't do no good. So yeah, it's a really cool song. Kendrick comes in and he does his verse. It's very catchy. It's a single off the album, and I like the single. But when I saw the video, Kendrick wasn't in it, so that was a little disappointing. But this is a good track, and it's a great way to move her record and to get people to notice her. For those you didn't know, Rapsody was also on Kendrick Lamar's album 2 albums ago, To Pimp a Butterfly. So she did a guest cameo on that record, and her voice and vocals were great on that. So that's a good song. I like Power. I like that one a lot. So I wanted to mention that to you. That's a great single. Pay Up. This is a very interesting song. So Pay Up talks about materialism, and how materialism can affect relationships between male and females. So, and what's cool about what she does in this, and this track is produced by Cash Don't Make Beats and Crisis, and it's Cash spelled K-A$H, Don't Make Beats. That's interesting. Yeah, and Crisis is spelled K-H-R-Y-S-I-S. He's the other producer. Like I said, Crisis and Ninth Wonder do most of the production on this record. So, but Pay Up, like I said, is very catchy. It talks about the dangers of gold digging from male and female perspective. The flaws of gold digging can go both ways. It's just not just what people say. Oh, she's a sack chaser. She's a gold digger. Men can be gold diggers too. It's 2018. Yes, let us say that. Let us say that. Okay. So, the keyboards on this song are very funky with rhythm guitar, and they drive the song. It's an upbeat song, but basically it's a cautionary tale about relationships. So, it starts off pay up, pay out, pay up, pay out. And the first verse, and this song also features Heather Victoria singing with Rapsody, as Rapsody rhymes. Big money on your visa, only way you get her, only way she won't leave you. She said, how much you think it costs for this weave, huh? You like the way it look? Well, baby, it's gonna cost some. Spoiled, look good. She like real leather. She like exotic trips, good weather. All you got to offer is to love her better than the rest. I told her, you ain't need a dime to be better than the best. Though it would impress, picked her a bouquet. She only want new boots like Beyonce. She like, I got dreams that will one day pay. She looking at you like, baby, I ain't got time to waste. And then the hook, pay up, pay out, pay up, pay out. Yeah, this song should definitely be a single if it hasn't been. It's a great song. It makes you think about things. So, then she goes on to say he bought her tulips, roses, daffodils. She's money hungry, but he can't pay her bill. She want new dresses, hairdo, new high heels. She money hungry, but he can't pay her bill. So, and then Heather Victoria sings, it's the money that she loves, but he ain't got enough. And she bought him flowers, picked some flowers from the yard. She bought him flowers. I'm still kind of confused about that verse and what that means in the chorus, actually. But let's get to the second verse of this track where, she starts rhyming from the male perspective. So this is real cool too, because you don't really see, when you hear female MCs, and their records, it's always the perspective, and it's always great to hear their perspective. I love that. As a matter of fact, there needs to be more women in hip hop. Yes, I said it, more, and we need that balance. But be that as it may, you never really have a female MC give you a female and male perspective within the same song. At least I haven't seen that until now with Rapsody, with this track. So yeah, definitely want to pay more close attention to this song and this record because of that. So the second verse is, he just want to lay up in your place, living off your income, chilling all day. Borrowed her the car and bring it back on low tank with his homeboys playing 2K. You his come up. He don't want a come up. That's why he preying on independent women, grocery list, and all the bills is paid. He on the family plans, so all the calls is made. Yeah, most of those go to the others, trying to make you feel bad, saying you don't love him, buying him new J's, whips, and threads. He always got excuses on polo bids like pay up. Ain't no family plans. You was trying to help a man become a man, thought your love one day would help him grow up, but he just want a baby girl that he know he can pay up, pay out. You know, she bought him flowers. She gave him flowers, roses red, violets blue. All he knows is that he love you, girl. She bought him flowers, roses red, violets blue. All he knows is that she love you, boy. So yeah, you know, it's the money that he love, but she ain't got enough. She picked some flowers from the yard. She bought the flowers, but that won't win his heart, pay up. So yeah, great song. I like it. It's one of my favorite songs in that album. So yeah, that was very clever. I like the way it was written. And it's a great way to give the dual perspective. Riding featuring GQ is a song produced by Ninth Wonder and Eric G. And it's about a family member of Rapsody's that seems to always find trouble in regards to looking for love in all the wrong places. You know, riding is the term used because the one she worries about is searching for herself and is metaphorically coming up empty. Rapsody also acknowledges that when this family member tries to run account on her to no avail, you know, like they even tried to run game on me. The song is great because it touches on the fact that everyone has someone in their family that they know needs help, but won't get it. So that can be very frustrating and powerless to us sometimes, you know. So, and then, you know, it's riding, trying to survive it. Liquor's so dark and the club's so lit and my mind's so gone and my soul's so sick. Went searching for myself and I ain't found, you know, bleep, bleep. Why everywhere I go, it turned into some, you know, crap. Riding, where you going? Went searching for myself. And, you know, I haven't found anything. So, why everywhere I go, it turned into some crap. So, you know, and then she goes in later to state, dark clouds surround you everywhere you go. I know the type. You only attract the violent, self-esteem issue kind of types. Club with your children, fifth of liquor and skeet weed, trying to run that game on me, but baby, you crapping on me. Same hemoglobin, family tree, same blood, relative. I know you very well. We all got somebody in our family that we can't save from hell. Yeah, she's getting deep, y'all. Pressure, pain, memories of bad things. You've been through, cried so many tears, it's surprising you ain't mildewed. Look at me. You can do it. You can't do it. You know that I'm going to see through it. Running with them funny folk, we know they won't see to you. Loved ones going to ride with you. Don't turn your back on me. Truth hurt. I know it do, but please don't lie to me. Good or bad, I'm here for you. That's what you call family. So, you know, it's a great song. I like it. And once again, Rapsody, you know, gives you some food for thought. So. And then GQ comes in later on, and with his rhyme, he's talking about the struggles of mental health and self-doubts that he has. So that's definitely a song worth checking out. Sassy is another great track that I like a lot. It's produced by Eric G. And it's about Rapsody's positive affirmation as a woman, self-assured, who knows her self-worth. The song is inspired by Maya Angelou's poem, Still I Rise. So... and the song is just, it's a nice fun party song. And it's a nice song about, you know, Rapsody just embracing who she is as a lady and just admitting, hey, I like to have fun. I like to feel sexy. I like to have a good time. I know who I am, you know? So, and there's a video for that song too. So I would definitely, encourage you guys to check it out. it's definitely like it's definitely a dance like club track. It's hard to describe the production for that track. This is one of those albums that I like a lot, and it's just like I said before earlier in the podcast. I like the production. I like the producers who are on it. I like the organic feel that this album has with this production. We'll talk some more about it after this break.
Always on the go, but the day just won't be one without your Hollywood fix. Let Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast take care of that. An all-inclusive look of pop culture.
Welcome back, people. Once again, you're listening to Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast. I'm your host, Keith, and we're talking about Rapsody. We're wrapping up the review on her album, Layla's Wisdom. Sassy has the bass line and the keys are real deep and thump on that track. There's definitely a bounce to it in the production. Another track I want to talk about is Nobody, featuring Moonchild, Anderson .Paak, and Black Thought. It's produced by Crisis and Ninth Wonder. And that has like a neo soul R&B vibe to it. The production, real smooth. It starts off with Amber Navran from Moonchild singing, can we just sigh? Can't we let go? Breathe in and sigh, just let it show. And, this song is basically, this is a good song. Rapsody uses the word nobody to put everyone in check, basically. She states that in the big picture, everyone's talking crap, but know nothing at all. Which is another way of saying the more you learn, the more you know, the more you realize what you don't know. The majority of the world is operated on opinion, and people mistake their opinions for truth every day. But Rapsody also shows some vulnerability, in this song about her fears. She talks about how she's scared of some personal things. She won't say what those things are, but she talks about that, she understands that she's not perfect. None of us are. And what do we all really know? So it's a philosophical song, and it's cool. So, yeah, I like that. Black and Ugly, featuring BJ the Chicago Kid, is produced by Ninth Wonder. And this is a song about how before Rapsody started rhyming, the fellas used to call her black and ugly. Now that she's doing her thing, they all want to get with her. It is amazing how fame can change people's perception of you. So BJ the Chicago Kid sings the chorus. Yeah, they call me black and ugly, but I go so hard, make the whole world love me. I like the song, but I don't love the song because I feel like she starts off strong, talking about her background. Because when you want to talk about being a black woman who is a dark-skinned black woman and have people call you black and ugly because you don't look like a light-skinned woman, Rapsody didn't dig deep enough on that track to talk about colorism, amongst the culture that she comes from. So, I wanted to hear more of that. The song did remind me of Jay-Z with the way she rhymed and the style and the influence from him, and his song Song Cry, where he talks about being black and ugly, and he pulled up with the buggy and, and how he forgot that they called him black and ugly. So it's almost like it's a sequel to the song that he made. But yeah, the song starts off strong, but I felt like it could have been stronger if she would have dug deeper into, like I said, the colorism that goes on amongst people of color throughout the whole world, not just in the African American community. So, but it's definitely food for thought, though. I mean, she definitely goes deeper. A roller coaster jam called Love, featuring Gwen Bunn and Music Soul Child. And this is produced by Ninth Wonder as well. Rapsody rants about being in a relationship that's good, but sometimes gets a little gray. She fears the relationship is getting mundane and routine, so she asks for, a little space so they can so they won't get bored with each other or get sick of each other and get stuck in a bad routine. So, she's basically saying that she just needs a little space to breathe, because sometimes you can actually spend too much time with someone you love and it can actually blow up in your face. So, Music Soul Child sings, the roller coaster, love. His hook is nice. I mean, it's good to hear his voice again. This song has a nice neo soul R&B feel to it. And the song, and when you hear music singing on the hook and the chorus, you almost feel like it's a song that he might have produced for her, even though he didn't, but because they had that feel. Nice. Yeah, it's a cool song. So on this album, Layla's Wisdom is a great album. Rapsody talks about who she is in her life and where she's from and what motivates her and what drives her. And you can definitely tell that, like, I feel like she's in a roller coaster in regards to love. She's got tracks about being in love with somebody but doesn't know she wants to spend time with them. She's got tracks about how you used to love me and we've broken up. That's a song that features Terrace Martin. You used to love me. And she's got other tracks about, wanting to get with the guy next door because she just thinks he's real cool and she just wants to get to know him better. So it's interesting to see, her emotional state lyrically and, her view on relationships. This is a good album to have. I definitely recommend it. She digs deep. She does. She definitely does. She's definitely an MC worth knowing about. She's been on the ground for a long time. Lots of mixtapes. Her album before this one was called The Idea of Beautiful, and that was a great record. I like that record a lot. So definitely check out Rapsody. She's worth it. Great guest stars: Black Thought, Music Soul Child. Just to name Kendrick Lamar. Just to name a few people who pop up on this album. Anderson .Paak, Moonchild, Amber Navarin. So on a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, I give this album a 9. My favorite tracks: Layla's Wisdom, Power, Chrome, Pay Up, Riding, Sassy. We could have got deeper into Sassy. Nobody, Black and Ugly, You Should Know, a roller coaster jam called Love, You Used to Love Me, and Knock on My Door. Knock on My Door is the track where she's talking about her neighbor, how she wants him to come through so they can get to know each other. In every asset, not just one. In every aspect, not just one aspect. So, So and you hear the conversation she's having with him, and she's basically spitting game to him, and so you hear her side of it, and it's cool. It was real cool. It's like she's talking to you. So So check that album out. It's real good. The next record I want to talk about. Let's see. So much stuff to choose from. Should we talk about Mocky? Should we talk about Living Color? Living Color. Yeah. Yes, folks, the metal band or funk metal band from the 90s with lead singer Corey Glover, guitarist, Vernon Reid, bass player Doug Wimbush, and drummer Will Calhoun. They have a new album out, and it's called Shade. And let's get into it. So this is I was surprised because I wasn't sure. I knew they were, I had been wondering if they were going to have a new album out. The last thing that came out before this record was the Who Shot Ya maxi single EP. So let me tell you about that. So that is with basically Living Color decided to cover Biggie Smalls' Who Shot Ya. So they do their own version of it, and it's real cool. It's a rock version, but you got Corey Glover. He's rhyming on that track. He's not singing. He sings the hook, but he's spitting the rhyme. So it's a nice tribute to Biggie. So that maxi single had a few different versions of that song with different people like Pharoah Monch and Chuck D on it, and then they do a version of the Jacksons' This Place Hotel. So that was cool too. So that was a digital release that came out, so we didn't get a physical version of that. So I didn't know if they were done for a while or what, but apparently they're working on this album, Shade. It's the 6th studio album. It was released, So it's finally been released. It's been 8 years since their last album, their last studio album, Chair in the Doorway. So, and the cover of this. So, by the way, Layla's Wisdom has a cover of a young girl sitting on a cloud, and there's a real cool reef behind her, and it's like she's in outer space. Living Colors cover, it's like a black and purple and red cover called Shade, and it's got someone's face on it with makeup and a stitch underneath their right eye. I don't know where that came from for cover art, but okay. I guess this maybe shade of makeup on here and lipstick. It's interesting. But so this album, the first song is called Fox, F-O-X, Freedom of Expression. So, and there's definitely a double entendre and an acronym, and it's crafted superbly in that regard. The hard rhythm and lead guitar by Vernon Reid and smooth bass by Doug Wimbush drive the song, as Corey Glover's soulfully soaring vocals and Will Calhoun's punchy and crisp sounding drums bring it all together. The song's actually a sharp criticism of Fox News, but not actually in the way you might think. When I initially say that to you, because Living Color doesn't care what side you're on politically, whether it's left or right. The song digs deeper by stating, the news you use has been falsified. To use my fear against me inside won't let you choose for me, pick a side. No left, no right, no middle, no divide, no black or white, just wrong or right. Yeah. You got to do what you want. You got to say what you feel. You got to be who you are. No apologies. When you have a philosophy or a gospel, I don't care whether it's religious gospel or political gospel or economic gospel or social gospel. If it's not going to do something for you and me right now, to hell with it. No left, no right, no middle, no divide. Oh yeah. So, and then, that's actually, so the last verse I just did, they quoted Malcolm X. So Malcolm X is the one who says this. When you have a philosophy or a gospel, I don't care whether it's religious gospel or political gospel or economic or social gospel. If it's not going to do something for you and me right now, to hell with it. So, yeah, no left, no right, no middle, no divide. So, I was very surprised to see that they quoted Malcolm. I believe they've quoted Dr. King in the past too. So that was right on time. So yeah, it's called Fox, Freedom of Expression. But yeah, it's a double entendre because it's also an acronym for the word Fox and, freedom of expression. So yeah, that's a great opening track. I dig it a lot. Preaching Blues is a blues heavy metal song that is, it's great in production, but it lacks lyrically. Corey sings about having the blues, but doesn't say why he has the blues. So that was my problem with that song. Come On, though, is a cool funk metal type of song that has Corey singing about building up the courage to finally tell someone what's on his mind. He chooses a public gathering / party to let this person know how he feels. Sonically, the song is great, but lyrically, the song feels too abstract and vague. I mean, what do you have to say? And why do you have the blues? So, those are my questions. But it's catchy, but yeah, lyrically, I was still I'm like, okay, well, what's really going on? You're at a party. What are you saying to him? So it's okay, yeah. But I guess it's mysterious and vague also. So. I mean, I'm getting more description than in the verse, or than in the song Preaching Blues, but still not enough. Program, that's a great song that starts off with a sample of hip hop artist Scarface from Ghetto Boys. You can hear him humming Cult of Personality. He's having a conversation with someone, and he's like, "Who was that black rock and roll group?" And the guy says, the guy who he's talking to tells him, "Well, that's Living Color." And then Scarface says their name. He goes, "Name me another black rock and roll group besides Living Color." It's as if Scarface was complaining about the fact that the rock and roll groups who happen to be black do not receive any mainstream support, promotion, or favor. So the person who he's talking to replies and says, "Well, he lists Fishbone and he lists Mos Def's Black Jack Johnson group." And then Scarface says, as he's aggravated, "Find me another rock band, seriously." And then the sample cuts off, and then the song jumps into gear from that point. So, I mean, Program has a great funk metal feel to it. The band breaks down the current state of America in a very profound way by stating that we are living in the program, which for me is another word for the Matrix. I want to say that to you. The song openly addresses racism and brainwashing television has become a reality. We're living like the program, like TV's our reality. We can't escape the program. They only show us what they want us to see. Sitting In my easy chair, I'm barely breathing. Back against the wall, you lay it on me heavy, like a new whipping boy. I am the program on the big screen. He's gonna use me up, and it's a limited time offer with no guarantee. I'm just a sucker in this scheme. We're living like the program, like TV's our reality. We can't escape the program. They only show us what they want us to see. Made me insensitive, my world, my face. Don't care how you feel, the latest gossip and the buzz online. You take up all my time. So that's it's a really good verse. So more about this record after this break.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Hey, what's going on, folks? You're listening once again to Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast. I'm your host, Keith, and we've been talking about Living Color and their new album called Shade. And we were speaking about the song Program. Great song. So I want to talk a little bit more about that song. So Daryl Malachi Thomas Jr. raps in the song Program. He states, "Yo, I got authority hatred because probably the majority is racist against the minority races. For the problems to be resolved, then the races. Gonna take more than the March of Washington, state of Al Sharpton debates. Cops always harass the brothers. They like Clorox bleach. Good for whites, bad for colors. So when they're asked to search us, I get nervous because Mike Brown was shot down by the people hired to protect and service. Went from the Enlightenment to a dark zone. Millions of dumb people walking around with a smartphone. Everybody dressing the same as y'all clones, like we're wearing a uniform. Being unique is as rare as a unicorn. Refuse to do the norm and just accept yourself. Stop trying to be like everybody else. Accept yourself. You free your mind. You do anything that you wish to. Ignorance is bliss. I refuse to be blissful. Mad." So yeah, great song, Program. Yeah, lots of stuff going on with that. Who Shot You? Once again, like I said, great cover. They cover Biggie Smalls, Who Shot You. They do a great job combining hip hop and heavy metal. I mean, Corey, like I said, he rhymes and he sings. I mean, you almost forget that Biggie Smalls wrote the song because their interpretation is so good. So yeah, that's definitely a banger on this record. So I'm glad they carried it over from the maxi single they have. And there's a story behind that. So, because you're like, well, why did you make this song? Why did this metal group, this funk metal group, decide to do a Notorious B.I.G. song? So it states, our version of Who Shot You was initially an organic outgrowth of pure fandom for the work of the brilliant Christopher Wallace. Corey Glover says, well, Corey would frequently sing the song during sound checks, so we worked it up, says Vernon Reed, the Living Color guitarist. But tragically, Biggie's question has taken on new and urgent significance over the last year. The amount of people who die on a daily basis because of gun violence is unacceptable in a civilized society. The disproportionate use of deadly force in communities of color is equally unacceptable in a civilized society. It inspired the idea to reach out to someone of the most provocative voices in hip-hop to invite them to add their words to the track. We all feel paralyzed as to how we can meaningfully affect change, but at least we can keep our voices raised in solidarity and not let this plight fade into the background until it happens again. So yeah, so that was basically Who Shot You, great cover, but it's also a song they did because they wanted to talk about gun violence in America. So it was a political song for them as well, which is not surprising. Living Colour's always kind of, had something definitely to say. Always Wrong is another great song driven by Vernon Reid's guitar. The song's about the frustration of being the one who's always considered wrong in your relationship, even if that's not the case. You have a loved one and you're arguing and you're the wrong one. They're never wrong. So can't start where I've begun. What's done can't be undone. You can't outrun the sun. You got nowhere to go. That repeats. How does it feel to be so right? Shame so loud, no end in sight. Look to the stars for a sign. Shout out to the sky. I lost my mind. How does it feel to be so lost? Isn't it a pity? It's all my fault. What is done can't be undone. Before it's over, nobody won. Lost and all alone, sins I can't atone, seeds that I have sown will never grow, will never grow. How does it feel to be so right? Shame so loud, no end in sight. Look to the stars for a sign. Shout it to the sky, I lost my mind. How does it feel to be so lost? Isn't it a pity? It's all my fault. What is done can't be undone. I'm always wrong, always wrong. So yeah, there that is. Pattern Time is a straightforward heavy metal guitar track with drums and bass that's more fast-paced. The song is about how certain people want to enjoy all of the fun aspects of your culture, but never want to dig beyond the surface in regards to what your culture is really about. The song is also about being lied to by the same people who say they love you. If you want to play, you need skin in the game. Everybody loves you, but they don't know your name. Play my blues, sing your pain, but nobody wants to live in my shade. Reference to the name of the album. I see your pattern in time, looking back at history's crimes. Bright lights, straight lines, I see your pattern in time. Everything they told you, completely wrong. Every time you lose, it's all your fault. Every day you're made to feel so small. Every damn day you hit that wall. I see your pattern in time, looking back at history's crimes. Bright lights, straight lines, I see your pattern in time. Sometimes this life can be severe. Sometimes it's not very clear. Always questioning why you're here, but you got to face your fear. So yeah, it's a good song. Who's That? This song I like. This has a nice blues feel. It starts off with some straightforward blues. Lap steel guitar being played. The organ and trombone chime in to give the song a blues, jazz, gospel feel to it. The song's about having the blues because you don't have any money and you're not able to pay your bills. The bill collector's knocking on your door and they're also ringing your phone and you got nothing. So I think, everybody's kind of going through it where, hey, man, I'm short of money this month. Yeah, it's a good song. This is the blues song that I like on the song. This song, they're very clear about what's going on. Who's that? Bill collector's at my door. Who's that? All these bills I can't ignore. Got me so worried. All I do is pace the floor. Who's that? Someone's ringing on my phone. Who's that? Saying I defaulted on my loan. Well, I owe so much money that they won't leave me alone. Who's that? Who's that? With the lights off, yeah, I just go to bed. Yeah, I like that song. It's a good song. So Invisible, that's a slower paced song about being black in America and how throughout different times in history of black people have often felt invisible, like they do not matter and cannot be seen. Even though the powers that may be treat me like I don't exist, I will still thrive and never give up on who I am and where I'm going, because you may think I'm invisible, but I know that deep down, because of all my hardships and my refusal to give up due to my spirit and culture, I'm actually invincible. It's a great analogy and it's a good song. It's a great song. I like it. So yeah, that's Invisible. So that's, yeah. Yeah, this album, yeah, it's got more grit to it than I thought it was going to have when I listened to this record. They do a great cover also. There's more than one cover. Inner City Blues from Marvin Gaye. They opened up this cover with the legendary Last Poets poet Umar bin Hassan speaking. He has this spoken word dialogue at the beginning. Even the wind is trying to tell us to seek higher ground. The children on the corners in the jails, have we all become mannequins, standing limp in the face of truth? Big city lights, losing us amongst the asphalt lives and candy cotton swirl of carnival minds. Living Colour lays into a funk metal groove that works for the song. The spirit of Marvin Gaye can definitely be felt in their version of the song. Two Sides is a rock ballad that they do. It has Vernon Reid driving the song with his lead guitar. No rhythm at all. It's with slow-paced drums and bass. The song features funk icon and legend George Clinton echoing Corey Glover's, his sentiment about there only being two sides to a story. So, I mean, Living Colour is the only rock and roll band I know of that can give you a heavy metal in such a clean and refined way, while throwing in elements of funk, soul, and hip hop. So what I mean is when you hear their music, no matter what record it is, it's always polished to me, and I mean that in a really good way. I mean, they know how to be loud and clean at the same time, and I've never seen that. I know one other person who does that. That person, I know one other person. You guys will know about him in the future. That's all I'm going to say. A musician on the rise, but. Yeah, I like that about Living Colour as a group. People, think that Vivid was their only album. No, they've made quite a few records, but yeah, they have that unique style of like this clean rock and roll. I mean, it's metal, but it's just clean and it's powerful without having to be loud and full of static and distortion. They pack a good punch. Yeah, it's a good blend. I guess I suppose it is funk metal. That might be their label, but they're definitely so much more than that. Calling the album Shade definitely has a deeper meaning when you dig beyond the surface as well. So on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the worst and 10 being the best, Living Colour Shade gets an 8 out of 10 for me. So yeah, I like it. Favorite tracks on this album for me: Freedom of Expression, aka Fox, Program, Who Shot Ya, Always Wrong, Pattern in Time, Who's That, Invisible, and Inner City Blues. So yeah. So definitely, it's a good album. You should pick it up. Living Colour is back, and they're packing a powerful punch. So yeah, like I said, the production is fascinating because it's metal, but it's just, like I said, it's just clean. It's just sounds really good. It's just polished and not in a bad way. It's just everything about it is just smooth. Yeah, it's good, but it's still funky. Like I said, there's hip hop elements to it, and it's still soulful. So yeah. Moonchild, yes. Their new album is called Voyager. They're described as a neo-soul group, but they have this jazz element that, to me, at times I feel like when I hear them, they remind me of a contemporary jazz band. I mean, but I guess you can still call them neo-soul. I mean, they're somewhere in the middle with that. All I know is that, yeah, it's just, yeah. Well, let me get into it. I'll talk about that later. Now, I will say this though. I first encountered Moonchild. They opened up for the another, I suppose, neo-soul group, The Internet, who's a part of Odd Future, Sid the Kid. I saw them out in Santa Cruz, and I mean, I've never driven for over an hour to go see a band perform. So Moonchild was the opening act, and they blew me away when I saw them. They were amazing. It was a great live show to see The Internet and Moonchild, but so it goes to show you, if you go to a live concert, try to see the opening acts, because there are often times where they will pleasantly surprise you, and you'll be like, wow, this group was amazing. They were great. So definitely, if you get a chance to see them live, you should check them out. But let's talk about the record. So the album's called Voyager, and the intro to the album is Voyager. The title track is a smooth, cool instrumental. The pace is, it sets the pace for the record. So after the instrumental intro of Voyager, the first song that I want to talk about is called Cure. Yeah, this starts off with a strong low-end synth bass, with Rhodes playing piano and clavinet. The song is warm and inviting as the lead singer, Amber Navarin, who was also guest starring on Rapsody's album. Yeah, I didn't even plan it this way, but yeah, there's the correlation. Amber and Moonchild are both on Rapsody's new album, Latest Wisdom. But getting back to Moonchild's record, so she soothingly sings about how love is the cure for heartache, and when you hear her sing it, you believe her. She's enjoying time with the person who she has great chemistry with, you know, in the song. The person's a little apprehensive because they've been hurt in the past. You know, Amber reassures the person to take a chance because she already knows that love is the cure for heartache. And yeah, I have to say, I do agree with her wholeheartedly. I mean, it's a cute little video too for the song too. The video though, it's a nice video, but it doesn't really seem to match the song to me. But I still did enjoy the video, and I just enjoyed the song. It's very catchy. It's just very nice and smooth. She states in the song, I've had my eyes on you for a while, and though it seems that time isn't right, I know you want the love that I've got to give. We laughed and kissed till the sun took us by surprise, telling the whole truth about our lives. I'm so in love with you. I'm so in love with what you've got to give. I can show you that love is the cure for heartache. Let me show you, baby. Don't be afraid of a good thing. I can show you that love is the cure for heartache. I don't do it justice the way she does when she sings it. It's really nice. It's really cool. You think your heart needs to hurt for a while longer. Live all alone till it makes you stronger. Learn who you are without help. I know I've been there before, but I won't wait for love like yours. Great song. Yeah, I can't speak enough about that. I like that song. Every Part, that's another song, and it's for Linda. That's so this is a song that Amber, the lead singer, dedicated to her mom, which is sweet. Steady drum rhythm with the record needle playing at the beginning, and Amber playing the Rhodes piano, Wurlitzer synths, and you know, clarinet, synth bass, and drum programming. The song's basically about Amber reminiscing about how much fun she has when she's around her mother. She also realizes that all of her fond memories of her mother, Linda, are the things that keep her connected to her wherever she goes. So even when she's not able to see her mother, she's always there with her anyway. You know, silly dancing around the house, laughing, who knows what about, wine and popcorn before bed, look to the light. Always craving something sweet, always doing something for somebody. Every time that I turn around, I look to the light to see you smiling back at me. Oh, you're with me all the time. Everything I do, you're always on my mind. You're in every part of me. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice song. Hideaway is a song that was inspired by Stevie Wonder's Please Don't Go. The song starts off with the keys that sound like the chords are backwards, a fade out, and then the keys return with a synth bass and drum beat that's snappy. The drums sound like they're playing along with finger snaps. It's unique and it works. Amber's playing off her Rhodes keyboard. You know, her playing is textured and rich with sound. I mean, she incorporates her alto sax and clarinet with a perfect blend. With Max Burke on additional keys and synth bass. And, you know, Andrews Matson on drum programming. I mean, that's the whole band. The trio, they play like a perfect contemporary jazz trio. You begin to wonder if the three members are just moonlighting as neo soul trio because their musicianship has delivery and perfection of a perfect jazz group. Look, I mean, I could tell you some more about this record, but I'm just going to keep it real with you. It's a great album. I like it. I like everything about it. I do. The List, that's probably my favorite song on the record. I'll talk about that real quick. It's a mellow acoustic jazz piano intro that plays in the distant background that fades into Amber's voice and piercing keys and synth that set the pace of the song. The song's about Amber's ex and how she hates that she remembers all of the great things about him and that she wishes that she could forget. There's a list of things that keep her holding on or possibly hoping for the two of them to reunite. The song is also about how she wishes she didn't feel anything at all for this person anymore. She doesn't want to remember anymore. You know, she doesn't want to think that they can still be cool. Yeah, she does want to think that they can still be cool. She wants to keep the door open, and that's what she probably hates the most about the whole situation. You know, I hate you make me nervous. I hope I say the wrong thing. It doesn't matter anyway. Ain't nothing going to change. No, I hate the situation. I'm always running into you, and when I don't, I'm hoping to. I hate feeling so confused. Oh, don't want to feel the way I do, just what I'm going through. Don't want to feel the way I do, just what I'm going through. I hate that you're perfect. No way your ass comes out so clean. Somebody's playing tricks on me. Can't see what I want to see. I hate that you still call me. Just when I get it out of my mind, then leave your perfect ass behind. I hear you sounding so fine. Don't want to feel the way that I do. Just what I'm going through. So yeah, it's really catchy when she sings the song. I like it a lot. On a scale of 1 to 10, this album, I give it a 10. It's definitely worth picking up. They have, like I said, they have like it's neo soul, but it's also, I mean, there's the jazz elements that are so strong and vivid. It's a perfect blend of jazz and soul. That's the best way I could describe Moonchild. Pick up the record, you won't regret it. And we'll be back with Mocky after this break.
Watching TV has changed over time. Streaming has become the new norm. That's why Golden State Media Concepts television podcast dives headfirst to the world of cord cutting. Want to be on the loop of what's hot in Netflix? Or if it's not a preference, what about original shows in Hulu? We've got you covered. Join us as we fill in the blanks and talk about movies to stream and what show you should be binging. This is the Golden State Media Concepts television podcast.
Hey, what's going on, folks? Once again, you're listening to Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast. I'm your host, Keith, and we just finished a review on Moonchild and their album, Voyager. Great record. And last but not least, Mocky. Let's talk about Mocky. So let me give you a little info on this person. Performer, producer, songwriter, composer, and multi-instrumentalist, Dominic Mocky Salole. I might be saying his name wrong. It's Salole. Came to prominence in the Berlin electronic scene of the mid-2000s, releasing 3 solo albums and making waves with close collaborators Jamie Lydell, Peaches, Feist, and Chili Gonzalez. In 2009, his music took a jazz-inflected turn to the acoustic with the release of Saskamodi. So that's a little intro on Mocky. So his new album, or his latest record, it's called How to Hit What and How Hard, the Mixtape Volume 4, the extended Japanese edition. So now, I had bought the EP through the Bandcamp platform. So, and let's talk about that too. So, ladies and gentlemen of Earth and the known universe, with today's modern technology, you can still buy CDs, you can buy vinyl, you can buy cassette tapes, surprisingly, and digital. So digital platforms, consist of Musically, of course, Apple Music, Amazon, and then Google Play. And people like to stream off of Tidal and Spotify, and Pandora. But Bandcamp is a great platform as well for independent artists that sell their music digitally, and they also sell physical copies of their music too with their own page. That's how I discovered this artist. So, once again, How to Hit What and How Hard, the Mixtape Volume 4 extended Japanese edition, had bonus tracks. So when I bought this, I definitely wanted to review this album and tell you guys about it. Like the bio said, he takes jazz and Latin music and hip hop and electronic, and his blend is otherworldly or outerworldly. It's hard to describe, but let's get into it. Put It in a Song. It's a funky track that starts off with Mocky humming in the background and goes into a really groovy bass line and drums that is accompanied by a 70s style Rhodes piano playing with flute rhythms that drive the song. Mocky breaks down the song in a simple and profound way with his lyrics. He says, "So let me put it in a song for you, 'cause the children know what to do. Just show each other love, you fools. Yeah, we got a lot of work to do." And this do. So it's real cool. I mean, this is one of those songs that if you're playing it in your home and your family is home with you, everyone will come out of their rooms and start dancing their way into the living room or family room. I mean, Put It in a Song has a youthful plainness to it when you hear it. Problematic, the next track, it opens up with a melodic and soothing Spanish guitar rhythm that lays the foundation for the song. You can hear the flute playing right behind the bass and drums. The song is about Mocky realizing that he doesn't want his romantic relationship to end. He realizes that from his perspective, there's no problem that the two of them can't get through. He knows life without her would be problematic. You know, he's not afraid to admit that, but he also feels like she may be determined to break off the relationship anyway. You know, ooh, why do we make amends? And why do we still pretend when we don't even know what we are walking away from day to day? And we can't even say the things we're thinking because we're way too afraid. There's a life together and a fate I'm dreaming of. There ain't a problem we can't fix with a little bit of our love. Life without you would be problematic. You know, he stutters, purposely when he says this. He says, life without you would be problematic. That's how he starts off that verse. Life without you would be so full of static. And then he goes back to life without you would be problematic. And I can dream with you, baby, but you're breaking me. You're breaking me. You're breaking me all apart. It's a very nice song. The nylon string guitar in this song is mesmerizing when you hear it on the song. So yeah, he's having fun with all the different instruments that he's using to play on this record. How It Goes. So How It Goes was the track I heard when I was sampling this EP off of Bandcamp, and it's one of my favorite tracks. He gets down on this track. It's like a straight up disco funk groove with a fat bass line that dominates the song with a soft acoustic guitar in the background. The keys have like a funky accordion-like effect in the background. The song has a nice string arrangement in the background that is in sync with the accordion-like keys. You can hear a childlike voice in the background saying, A, D, that's how it goes. You know, it's something to that effect. This verse repeats sporadically throughout the song. It's a perfect song for dancing and grooving to. Desiree is an instrumental track that opens up with the flute and an acoustic sounding piano. The strings come into the background along with the brush stick playing drums. The flute and strings guide the song. It feels like a jazz styled lullaby. So that's a nice little instrumental on here, Desiree. You can't rush the funk. That's the name of the song, and he's right, and he proves it. So it's a laid back funk track with the driving bass and more nylon string guitar and strings. Violins. The keys have a high-pitched organ sound effect that is subtle. You can also hear a teapot whistling in the background. I'm like, I don't know how he came up with that idea, but he gets it to work. The drum and bass definitely stay in the pocket as Mocky casually sings in almost a whisper, you can't rush the funk. By the time the song is over, you're nodding your head, all along and agreeing with them. Stop Time, another song featuring Nia Andrews. Fast-paced tune about how Mocky wishes he could stop time so he could figure out how to stay with the one he loves. Nia Andrews sings the chorus just in a heavenly way. I wish I could stop time. The song starts off with a slight chopstick-style piano intro that evolves into a Motown-style groove bass line with the nylon string guitar providing sparse rhythms in the background. The song is catchy and busy in a good way. It plays like he's actually running out of time, which is actually the brilliance to the song, because the irony of wishing he could stop time, So, yeah, you're so sweet, but I can't eat, I can't sleep because I'm too deep. I wish I could stop time. I wish I could stop time because you're mine, mine, mine. You're so close. Want to do the most, but I can't choose because I don't want to lose you. I wish I could stop time. Saskaphonia Dreaming is a cool instrumental with piano, horns and strings that sound like it should be a song that has like the 60s jazz guitar. No, let me slow back and rephrase that. Okay. Yeah, I like this album a lot. So yeah, Saskaphonia Dreaming. Yeah, like I said, it's instrumental, piano, horns and strings, and it has this sound, a 60s. It has a 60s jazz sound, like the guitar legend Wes Montgomery would be playing guitar on it. And the more I think about it, actually, like it has a Montgomery Brothers feel. That would be his brothers, Monk on bass and Buddy on piano and vibraphone. It's got that type of throwback feel, but in a good, authentic way. I don't know how he was able to channel that sound, but I'm glad that he did. When you hear this song, you just want to drive a convertible drop top down the highway as you head to the beach for a chill day in the sun. Put it in the song, Part 2 is a stripped-down sequel with more singing vocals from Mocky. The humming is still in the background. The version is slower and has a less is more feel production-wise. More nylon string guitar and less bass. Mocky's wispy vocals are on display and they work. His flute and string arrangements on this song are superb. You know, I got love for you and you got love for me. We just got a funny way to show it. And there's tears ahead and more heartbreak, baby, unless we find a way to stick together. So let me put it in the song for you, because the children know what to do. Just show each other love, you fools, after all we've been through. So let me put it in the song for you, because we know exactly what to do. Just show each other love is true. Yeah, we got a lot of work to do. I've been trying to show you, because sometimes words are hard to find. Sounds like a guy who has a hard time expressing himself, but knows how to do it brilliantly through his music. So it's a nice, it's a great song. Shuggy Pie has a 70s soul feel to it. I mean, the bass line drives the song with this less is more feel, accompanied by light percussion and horns that are off in the distance. The bass line goes from rhythm to lead. Acoustic guitar in the background, very faint with its layering. The bass and drums are the heart of the song's production. Mocky sings about being free, dancing in the streets from east side to west side in downtown Hollywood. The song also feels like Mocky's trying to cheer someone up over a love loss, and also to realize that they have other options. So, oh, today we can find a way. Nobody told me they were watching over me. Oh, today we can find a way. Nobody told me that they were watching over me. Hollywood to downtown, we're dancing to be free. Nobody told us there's a price tag on our feet. East side to west side, there's a payback going around. We've been playing on the rooftop, and we ain't falling down. It's good. It's real good. Love Wins plays like a funky disco ballad. Mocky declares his love and tells his love, don't fight the feeling. Don't let anyone convince you that love doesn't win, because it does. Even though life isn't fair, we may not know now. We may not know what the meaning of life is all about, but love still wins in the end. It's a positive, funky dance track that works. And, in the lyrics on that, busy living your life for all the right reasons, but you're going to have to fight for what you believe in. I'll be by your side through every season. Let's not close our eyes. Tell me what you are seeing. Love wins time and time again. Love wins. It's always just around the bend. Love wins. So when they tell you that you can't, tell them ha ha ha, because love wins. Remember how to care. Maybe then you won't feel so bad when life's not fair. Just remember those feelings we had. Gonna have some more, baby. When you need a little love, I'll be the one you come running to. And together we'll thrive. So, it's a very positive song. I like it a lot. More than we want to, baby. We need to, baby. If we stare into the light, this world could be everything we ever dreamed of. What's the meaning of life? We'll never know. So stop trying to fight it. Love wins. So, Mocky, he ends this record with a fun, upbeat instrumental track called Music Saves Me One More Time. And I couldn't agree more with him in that sentiment. This multi-instrumentalist has been able to craft a record that successfully blends old school jazz, soul, Latin, and hip hop music with a little psychedelica as well. Mocky has made a record that grooves, titillates, and inspires. This record is a must-have if you're into fun, dance, love, soul, and jazz. On a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, Mocky's How to Hit What and How Hard, the mixtape, Volume 4, Extended Japanese Edition, gets a 10. Favorite tracks, Put It in the Song, Problematic, How It Goes, You Can't Rush the Funk, Stop Time featuring Ian Andrews, Saskaphonia Dreaming, Put It in the Song Part 2, Shuggy Pie, Love Wins, Music Saves Me One More Time. So yeah, it's a rarity when I review some records and they get a 10, more than one in one podcast. But yeah, Mocky and Moonchild, definitely. So did I tell you my favorite tracks on Moonchild? Yeah, I think I did. Well, I'll say them again. Voyager, Cure, Every Part for Linda, Hideaway, The List, Doors Closing, Change Your Mind, Let You Go, and Show the Way. Everyone out here on planet Earth and in the known universe, thank you so much for listening to Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast. I'm your host, Keith. Appreciate you. Thank you for sharing this time with me. And I'll see you somewhere out in space.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.